Hello, and in today's video, we are doing a review of FPL Game Week number 4. That's right, the international break ended, thank goodness for that, and Game Week 4 swung around with many people hitting their wildcards out of panic, out of wanting to get Ronaldo. Well, my friends, Ronaldo, CR7, the GOAT, he did deliver, and he got me some great FPL points, but we'll talk about that and all my juicy stuff, my Game Week rank, my points, my overall rank, and also what were the hitters and what were the hard hitters of my Game Week team, who was the Wally of the week, who was the hero of the week, and much, much more. And I preview my team going into Game Week 5 as well. So the whole shebang. We're not going to make transfers on this video. I'm going to probably do a proper FPL preview for that. But this is a nice little refresh on a Wednesday when we've seen the games in the Champions League. We've seen some of the matches played, but we've obviously got an early deadline this week, Friday, with Newcastle versus Leeds. So watch out for that, but do smash a like on it, share very quickly around this FPL review, and then we'll hop on to Game Week number 5. But Game Week 4, I made 3 transfers, and I had saved up a free transfer in that Game Week 3 fixture. So that week, I'm pretty sure I made a -4 hit, because what we did was we made 3 transfers. We brought in Emmanuel Dennis, mainly for these nice run of fixtures, and we thought, let's bench Dennis against Spurs, and he replaced Ivan Toney, of course, went and scored v Aston Villa, typical stuff. We, of course, went for a little bit of in the defence, and we needed that kind of defender to sort the business out. Like, it was a bit of a problem, but I guess, you know, we kind of just thought anyone will do right now, because we wanted some options, and Livramento came in for Tsimikas, who we knew probably wasn't going to get the games, and as you can see there, the other change we made was Grealish out for Grealish in for Ismaila Sarr, who we didn't fancy against Tottenham. And yeah, those transfers worked, but obviously with the -4 hit, it's always like it's a bit of a risk. But 69 points, I was happy. We did get less, unfortunately, this game week, 64, as you can see on your left there, for Game Week 4. And just like that, last game week, we made 3 transfers. So we've made 6 transfers this season, and the 3 transfers this game week we made were coming into the team. It was a little bit of Cristiano Ronaldo, the GOAT. We couldn't miss out on him against West Ham. He might be, you know, a doubt because of the fact he's played in the Champions League as well, but we'll come to that later. Ronaldo, though, is still the GOAT, and he's still such a good FPL asset. I know that people are saying it was the 3rd choice goalkeeper for Newcastle. That's not going to happen every week. Yes, but Ronaldo is so threatening. He gets in amazing positions. He's still got pace, as we saw when he ran on for that 2nd goal, and he is an FPL sleeper. Set and forget in your team. But of course, the fixtures aren't great for Manchester United, so we're making the most of them whilst they're good and whilst CR7 is in town. And he was replacing, obviously, Danny Ings. We didn't fancy the fixture for Aston Villa, and that was how it kind of panned out. So, good transfer, that one. We had a gain of 11 points or something crazy, because, of course, Ings blanks, and Ronaldo got 2 on debut. What a start for him, reuniting at the 2nd time of asking. And, alright, the first one, it's a bit of a tap-in, but the second one is a good one, and FPL is about getting points. It's not about how you get the points. So I'm really happy with him. We will talk about the captaincy, which I massively regret, but anyway, very, very good with that transfer. Also, we made the transfer bringing in a bit of Diogo Jota. We also watched him in the international break play for Portugal, and he just looked so impressive. Really, really good, especially against Azerbaijan. But yeah, he just looked like a no-brainer with Firmino out. But now people are saying Firmino might be back for the Brentford game, which is a worry, because I wanted a good long-term punt. Jota is a good option at 7.7 million, and he certainly has got a lot of goals this season in the few minutes he's played. But it was just a frustrating one against Leeds, and Sadio Mane absolutely robbed him of the points. But still, good option to have, and we can go down to someone else at that similar price point. We changed him in for the midfield, and he obviously came in for Bruno Fernandes, because we just couldn't afford it without that. And of course, Fernandes hauled, but long term, I think Ronaldo's still the better FPL option. And long term, Do I see me owning Man United midfielders anyway because they're fixtures? Probably not. So it's a shame he scored a screamer, but 8 points, don't cry about it too much. And then, of course, we had the very good transfer in of Ben White. I didn't think I'd do it, but I did. Arsenal defence is always hard to get your teeth stuck into and get your back on, really, to get behind them. But fair enough, they got the clean sheet v Norwich. That's all we wanted. And yeah, that was a decent transfer, to be fair. Bertrand was up against Man City, hadn't played a single minute, so it was just a no-go for future planning. So those are my free transfers, -8 hit taken, but it didn't hurt me too badly because still a solid score there, 64 points, 57 was the average, so technically with the -8 in consideration, just dropped below average at 56. But well done this week, 120 points, amazing stuff. The triple captain, incredibly played on Ronaldo, but fair enough, there was doubts about him starting, and that's why we ended up to not captain him. But you look at this team, Andre Gray has gone to QPR, he's not in FPL, but Damari Gray, he was the man I was umming and ahhing over all week, and I was like, he's not going to carry it on, surely. And I think we've got a bit of a Lingard situation here, and I'm just so reluctant to get him in, but he's in great form, and he's not having many chances, not many shots on target, but at the minute, he's falling in the right place, and he's getting the points. So, yeah, 7-pointer, even though you got no bonuses, it's still one that I did consider. Lukaku as well, obviously, against Villa, you fancied him with no Martinez, but the fixtures aren't ideal in the next few, but then after that, really, really nice. Townsend as well, that came out of nowhere, but absolute screamer. And also Marcal, I'm absolutely fuming about, because I was going to get him in, but I just didn't want to back against Emmanuel Dennis, and we went for Ben White. Obviously, the yellow card for White's not ideal, but still, amazing week, 120 points from the manager of the week. That is, of course, SAM, Sami Youssef from Egypt. Well, he certainly had a good week, and the Egyptian king even scored his 100th goal in the Premier League to top it off. So, yeah, it was a very good week for me. Obviously, the game week rank there isn't ideal, 2,534,171, but we don't need to look into that too much. It's about, was it a red arrow? Was it a green arrow? We'll reveal. So, Bachmann in goal, obviously not ideal. Like, it's Wolves. We kind of fancied him for this fixture, especially after the save points he was showing. Wolves were a team hadn't scored yet, and of course now Watford go and gift them goals. And Bachmann wasn't really that ideal in the game. He didn't have a lot to do because Wolves didn't have a lot of shots. It was a quite uninspiring match from both teams. But second half, Wolves took control, and they had scrappy goals. Nothing Bachmann could have really done about it. And he made the odd good save, though, especially in the first half. That chance one-on-one with Semedo, and also another chance one-on-one with Semedo. I think he might have got a foot to it, a leg to it, but it at least went wide. I think it might have been a miss. But he made some save points, which were at least a consolation for racking him up to 2 points, despite conceding 2 for the -1. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but we got Norwich next. If he's going to get a clean sheet against anyone, then hopefully it's them. In the defence, Luke Shaw. Now, I'm actually really frustrated with Luke Shaw, but maybe more with Manchester United. This FPL start, he's not got the points we thought he would. He was so heavily owned, so I just kind of got him out of fear. But Manchester United defensively haven't been that good for clean sheets. But finally, we see an assist here for Luke, and it's a nice, really positive thing for the future, because the way he drove forward through that Newcastle midfield, obviously Newcastle were quite weak in that game, so you won't play them every week. But, you know, he was looking to get forward, and he drove well into the space, feeded Ronaldo, and through the legs of Freddie Woodman. That was a nice little assist from Luke Shaw. So I was happy about that, but obviously would have liked the clean sheet also. But no, it is what it is. 4 million defender. Who'd have thought it? Javier Manquillo. Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is why we need him. This is why he's essential. We say it time and time again. He's actually probably the best value, especially when you compare to 7.5 midfielders. He just gets attacking returns. He gets clean sheets. And he got another against Liverpool. And, you know, with Trent, when he often gets an assist, he's up there in the bonus points. That Liverpool defence is often in the bonus points. And it's a great assist. So forward-thinking to set up Mo Salah. Brilliant stuff, obviously, for me. Captaincy goal. And then the bonuses. 3 for Trent. He is just that FPL legend we all love. And he's staying in my team. No question about it. Especially with Palace up next, who he scored a great goal from a free kick against in the Project Restart. Now, Ben White is next. This game, is a tough one because obviously I would ideally like an Arsenal goal fest, and Ben White scores one for himself, but there wasn't the goal threat. It was about the fixtures, and it was targeting those really. We knew this game would be a bit nervy, but it was Norwich, so there was a chance for a clean sheet, and actually the fixtures long term are looking pretty nice for Ben White. So yeah, one to think about. If Arsenal show some kind of defensive signs, they haven't really had the chance to yet, but let's wait and see. Still got the assist and obviously, got the clean sheet, but shame to get the yellow card. However, that is only his first of the season, so we're not going to worry about it too much. Hopefully he doesn't pick up many more, but yeah, first clean sheet of the season for Arsenal, and he did the job really. Does what it says on the tin, Ben White. And then in midfield, Grealish, 3-pointer, not great at all, not really that good. I backed him in this game. I kind of thought maybe I'd start Livramento over him, just because that way I was hedging my bets both ways. But I just thought Antonio would be so strong in this game. But we started Grealish because even though it was a tough game against Leicester, it's Grealish. Like, Man City are the best team in the league. They can still score against the big teams. And Grealish actually played quite well in this game. He had chances, especially that one that kind of bounced up to him and he was trying to take it on the volley, flash on it. First time, it's just not quite, sitting down for him. And he's just not really playing that role that I hoped he would at Man City. He's more of a provider on the left-hand side. So that is a worry. I'm considering a bit of movement for Jack Grealish, especially now with the Champions League. They're playing RB Leipzig tonight, the first game of the competition, and of course Foden and De Bruyne are back. So I just don't know really. Like, it's a worry, but I think you've just got to be maybe a bit patient. Southampton obviously are leaky, and Man City will fancy their chances there. And Grealish has been pretty nailed, but let's kind of find out what happens with that one. Greenwood, 5 points. I mean, this guy's been unbelievable. Having him since the start has been such a massive boost for my team. Goal, and a goal, and now an assist. Obviously, it was a bit lucky, but we'll take what we can get. The deflection off the Newcastle defender, then giving it to Ronaldo. So at least he had the shot. He nearly scored from it, but yeah, we'll take the assist at the end of the day. The vice captaincy was pretty decent, but glad I didn't captain him because the man there over here is Mo Salah, and he scored more than Greenwood. 8-point haul is not ideal because, of course, you want more for a captain, but it's a return, and you've got to be happy with that. I was obviously wanting Salah to outscore Ronaldo, but it didn't happen. So I'll take the goal. I'll take the bonus point as well. Most time out of 10, I would love the bonus point, and we didn't get it this time. So yeah, I would take the bonus point, even if it's 1, but it wasn't to be. Clean sheet at least for Mo Salah. 16 points is not bad on a captain, but you kind of think Ronaldo's doubting of not playing. I didn't play him because of Solskjaer's comments that he might come on at some point, which was just so elusive. And I think Salah was, in all the international break madness, the one, key and consistent positive we had that we know he's an FPL asset we want a captain. So that's why we went with him against leaky Leeds. And they were leaky, but just shame that Mane didn't pass to him. What an absolute joke that is. I mean, we will talk about him now because Jota got 3 points. All right, not ideal. You want him to return on your debut for my FPL team. But obviously was scoring up to then. Didn't play much against Chelsea, but having a start, you'd fancy him up against that Leeds attack. But, obviously he's a bit out of position playing as a forward, a bit like Ferran Torres. And he just didn't quite have it. He had flash moments in the game, a volley that kind of bounced down, and of course he had chances to get the ball, receive the ball, but Sadio Mane was having none of it. And of course he got his goal in the end, Mane, but it just frustrates you when you see those players who are quite selfish. But Jota will still, get more points. He's showing all the right signs. He's still a good FPL asset. Just a shame about this week. Moving on to our forward line, we've got a bit of Cristiano Ronaldo. What a legend, and what an FPL asset. Both this season, I reckon he will be, and of course from the previous seasons. But yeah, you really are loving that from him on his debut. We didn't know he was going to start. He, of course, gets 90 minutes, and he does the bits. 2 goals and 3 bonuses. Thank you very much. But we didn't captain him, so we'll think about that going forward, and let's just see how much more minutes he's going to get. Antonio, now this is a bit of a letdown. He's my Wally of the week for sure, because, at the end of the day, we fancied that fixture against Southampton. A lot of people captained him. Feel for you if you did, but red card. And West Ham were not that clinical. They weren't as good as usual. West Ham obviously trying to get where they can this season, and being in Europa League this week will be an interesting thing, but Antonio is still out injured, so we'll see how that factor is. obviously he's an injury-prone player. We know this, but I still think Antonio is a great asset to own on this form. And it was just a great performance from Alex McCarthy. So, yeah, not ideal, really, to see that red card. And we don't often see that from Marcal Antonio. He usually keeps his head. And on a yellow, all right, the first one, maybe is that a bit soft. But the second one, there's just no need to go lunging in. Dennis, 1 point. Oh, dear. This really did hurt. Just a bit like Ronaldo, basically. It's Emmanuel Dennis, who obviously did that SUIII celebration for Atalanta. Oh, sorry, not Atalanta, Club Brugge, when he scored that double in the Champions League. But no, Dennis has not been doing Ronaldo vibes in my team since we brought him in. Obviously, we benched him rightly against Spurs, 1 pointer. I think he got booked in that game. And then he's done it the exact same thing when we want him to score, when we start him for the first good fixture on that little run. And yeah, we just weren't really a threat in the second half. Dennis was always lively, he still is, working hard, great team ethic, great work ethic, and he's still an FPL option, especially with Norwich and Newcastle to go. But it's just a frustrating thing to see him get that booking and not doing anything in the game. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Dennis is nailed. I think left back, obviously, we played Rose there, and that will give Dennis more support in future games if we keep doing that. And I think Dennis is nailed because he's going to play on the left or we play up front. And Josh King, I think it's kind of one of those things. If we give him a start against Norwich and he doesn't score, then maybe we change things going forward and give Dennis the start, leading the line as number 9. And then we play, Cucho or Sema on the left. But Dennis can still play up front or he can play on the wing. So he's versatile, he's nailed, and he's still got promising XG, promising signs, but just Watford's 3 defeats on the bounce, no goals is worrying. But it's Norwich. It's Norwich. You've got to think about that. So moving on to my bench, Foster, we knew he didn't play. Obviously, he's still coming back, but he will be good when he's back fit. Ayling, 1 point. Obviously, we benched him for that fixture, as you would. And Ayling, he got the goal against Man United, but I just kind of thought, oh, he's going to do it again. He's going to do a Dallas, and he's going to get an attack and return. So that's why I put him first on our bench. But that was foolish of us, really. But I guess we kind of backed Antonio, so we went with Livramento second sub. A lot of people with DCL out injured had Livramento coming on. Some people had Marcal coming on, which was just extremely lucky. And especially as well, Shane Duffy, who, still got the same amount of points as Ben White. So we're not too worried about that. But yeah, Livramento, obviously, the Antonio situation was unique. Livramento doesn't get many clean sheets. It's about the attack and return and the cheap price. But yeah, shame to see the 6 points on the bench. And then Brownhill, 1 point. He had a few chances against Everton, but yeah, he wasn't ideal. Got another yellow card. It's just a bit of a bench warmer, really. So that is my team. Very, very up and down, really. But we're happy about Ronaldo. We're happy about Luke Shaw finally getting the attack and return. And also, we're absolutely loving a bit of Trent Alexander-Arnold. So he is my hero of the week. The 12 points. We know he can do this, and he just did it really well with maximum bonus points. And many of the top FPL managers did produce positive returns for Game Week 4, with 8 of the top 10 rewarding their owners in the Premier League. So, yeah, it was one of those weeks, really. If you didn't get the points, it was a shame. But one of those who didn't get the points in that top 10 for the overall rankings was top point scorer Marcal Antonio for the FPL game. A red card late on, and he misses Game Week 5. Does that affect my team? Yes, but I'll talk about it in my Game Week preview. So, yeah, do catch that one. But 64 points, I'm not going to complain. Obviously, the rank is not ideal for the game week, but 16 points for captain? Yeah, all right. The game week points were, of course, 64, and the global average, 57. So, in terms of my season so far, we are on 699 points. Oh, sorry, what am I on about? 299 points. I wish. I'd be number 1 in the world if that was the case. Overall global average was 238, so we're above the average. And also our overall rank. This is 383,091. So, I hate to say it, people, but it's a red arrow. And it's a red arrow by 162,954. So, I don't like to see it. I've seen red arrows like there's no tomorrow this season. And we're still yet to get our first green arrow, which is a pretty annoying one. And as you can see there, 0.4 in the bank. So, that gives us options going into Game Week 5. But it's just not really ideal, is it? Like, it's not ideal at all. You want to see a bit more than that, and you want to see some juicy little points. With the game weeks not giving us those green arrows, it's a shame. But what can you do? We've had a decent start to the season there. The ranks have been up and down a little bit, but mainly down. It's just that the scores have been quite consistent. You know, we've not got below 56 points after the minus hits. So we'll try and make a few selective and sensible transfers this week, not try and waste too many transfers. Obviously, this season I basically made a B team and it was late on in the season, so that this was completely irrelevant. But my main account obviously was that and that. So forget that. But I only have one account now. That was just when I made it a second team, but those days are over. And that's my kit. So a nice little tour around my FPL team. But yeah, it's a decent rank. We'll be inside the 400k. I'll take that. And at the end of the day, we just need to get that green arrow. So those are my team and tips. I gave you a little sneak peek there for game week 4. Thanks for watching that review, and I'll talk to you in game week 5 on the deadline. It will be an interesting one, obviously, with Champions League, Europa League, rotation, Antonio, Ronaldo, even the 2x2 roulette is coming in. So I will be talking to you then, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.